The erosion of mainstream media and dawn of the citizen journalist. In the grand narrative of civilization, the influence of journalism, much like the power of the pen, has been indomitable. Media has stood as the sentinel of democracy, ensuring public enlightenment while holding governmental and corporate entities accountable. Yet, this narrative is being rewritten as we witness a tectonic shift in the media ecosystem. Mainstream media, once the fulcrum of public information, is confronting its own twilight, succumbing to an interplay of convoluted dynamics. Its failure to recognize existential threats, a reluctance to acknowledge profound political implications, and the vested interests of wealthy proprietors all contribute to its impending decline. In the shadows of this fall, however, emerges an improbable protagonist, the citizen journalist. This discourse ventures into these converging paths and the repercussions they bear on the fabric of American democracy. Critiques of mainstream media giants, such as the New York Times, focus on their tendency to downplay the gravity of certain political maneuvers. An illustrative example is the former President Trump's bid to consolidate more power if re-elected. This is not merely a move to amplify the authority of the presidency, as the New York Times paints it. It is, in reality, the end of democracy as we comprehend it. That they are unable to actually say that does not portend well for their long-term independence. The incumbent mainstream media, regardless of the unfolding events leading to and post-January 6th eve, persists in nurturing narratives that indirectly embolden fascist tendencies. A foreign correspondent tasked with the study of American democracy would unambiguously diagnose our nation's political health as critical, directly indicting the false equivalence of both sides reporting by the mainstream media. The media's blindness to its part in its downfall echoes the irony of small retailers who fuel their own extinction by shopping at retail giants like Walmart. Further exacerbating the situation is the mainstream media's obliviousness to the implication of potential GOP administrations commandeering control of vital agencies like the Federal Trade Commission. Can the intellectual powerhouses at the New York Times and others truly not perceive this impending threat? The pattern is already discernible to a layman, with the GOP and its affluent patrons clandestinely fueling incessant lawsuits. The once mighty fortress of mainstream media may eventually surrender under the unyielding duress of a weaponized GOP, consequently morphing into a state-controlled media reminiscent of what we currently witness in right-wing circles. A critical undermining factor for mainstream media's credibility and its pursuit of truth is the inherent conflict in its ownership. Affluent individuals with vested financial interests control these outlets, consequently compromising their commitment to unbiased reporting. This inescapable conflict, in combination with the previously discussed issues, accelerates mainstream media's descent into obscurity. In the face of this media metamorphosis, where does America position itself? We are, undeniably, in a state of turbulence. Yet, these adversities are not insurmountable. We're already witnessing the sprouting of independent media operations and podcasts, filling the vacuum created by the waning credibility and influence of mainstream media. Simultaneously, we are experiencing the ascent of citizen journalists. These pioneers are circumventing traditional outlets, using platforms like podcasts, email newsletters, YouTube, TikTok, and Discord groups to deliver news. It is imperative to lend our support, including financial backing, to these nascent entities to ensure their independence and help sustain grassroots-level information. We find ourselves at a pivotal juncture in our media history. The deterioration of mainstream media marks the fading of an age-old information cornerstone, while also heralding a more democratic and decentralized media environment. The surge of citizen journalists, unswayed by financial or political pressure, could be the cure America requires to counterbalance the adverse impacts of mainstream media's downfall. As we traverse this transition, we must remember to safeguard the fundamental tenets of journalism: truth, transparency, and integrity, for these are the lifeblood of a robust democracy.